I'm Julie Farr, or Jules, as most people call me, and just here to sort of talk about my company and the reasons for entering the Business Awards, and give everybody a little bit of background, hopefully.
Could you provide a brief description history of Emerge Events?
Yes, so I started the company when I was in my final year at university. I embarked on a degree, a BA in events management at the University of Gloucestershire in 2018. So around about 2020, my final year, I did a module on entrepreneurship and developing an entrepreneurial idea. So I worked with a couple of lecturers developing the idea for an events company, and sort of thought about the sort of events I might like to deliver into the marketplace. I designed a lifestyle event, which I actually did deliver when I finished my degree. And I was one of the only students to actually work on an idea and actually bring it to market, because obviously a lot of people work on it. It's a paper exercise and it doesn't actually happen. So I delivered this lifestyle event, and it was quite an interesting event. It was a new concept. It was, I said, a lifestyle event, and it was essentially the morning of the event at a particular venue would be an opportunity for businesses to sort of network together. There'd be a key speaker, so like business to business interaction in the morning, and I'd provide some lunch, and then in the afternoon the doors would open and the public would come in. It'd become more like a marketplace, really, where these people would engage with their customers, and some of them had products to sell, some of them had services to promote. It was a really interesting event. I did actually deliver 4 of them through Gloucestershire, so that's kind of how the how Emerge Events started. And then I embarked on a master's degree, which I finished in January this year. So I was continuing my academic journey alongside building up, the events company. And it was whilst I was doing my master's, I sort of honing my interest in dark tourism. It's a particular interest of mine. I did my thesis on prison tourism under dark tourism, which is why people visit prisons, and decommissioned prisons, I hasten to add, and as tourist attractions. So I became really interested in sort of dark tourism, prison tourism, and I decided to develop an alternative event in Gloucestershire, and I sort of ended up hiring Gloucester Prison, which is decommissioned in 2013. Sorry. So I sort of I developed, that event and delivered that one, and I do 2 a year there now, and sort of honing my events experience. I also work for Cheltenham Festivals as a freelancer. The literature and science festivals are quite sort of world famous festivals, and I do some work for the Cheltenham Ladies College as a duty manager, and obviously I'm available to hire as a freelancer, wedding planner and whatever, really. So yes, that's sort of how it started and how it's grown, essentially.
What would you say is the biggest challenge you've overcome as the owner of Emerge Events?
Yeah, as you said, I think the number one challenge is sort of bringing a new concept to Gloucestershire in a controversial venue. That's probably, there are other people who do these alternative events through the UK, but in Gloucestershire we don't have anything like this. It's a new concept. It could have gone either way. It absolutely romped away. It hit the nationals. It went absolutely bonkers, and with thousands of people through the door. It was insane, which is great, but it was really scary. It is a new concept for the area, and obviously you are delivering in a venue which is controversial by the nature of it. So I think that's one of the biggest challenges. I think I find one of the biggest challenges is coping with criticism. I take things very personally because, Emerge Events essentially is me. I have a team on the day of the event, but it's just me. And I do seek constructive criticism. I always email my traders or exhibitors afterwards, and I ask them for feedback. And I'm open to constructive criticism. I think it's really important. But I think it's that social media, so when people jump on what you do, and they're these armchair directors who are very keen to criticise with no knowledge of what it actually is like to be able to deliver something like that and design something like that, and they just sort of think they can do a better job. And I find that really irksome and quite challenging with how to sort of handle that as well. But I suppose the fact that I care and I'm bothered and I take it to heart is part of the reasons for the success of what I do. But I think that's a big challenge, and I think ultimately, the same as many people, I think balancing work and home, excuse me, and other work commitments. Finishing my MA whilst I was sort of growing Emerge events and lecturing as well, as I started lecturing at the University of Gloucestershire. And as a mature entrepreneur, I just find it's you get a bit tired as you get older. Things don't get any easier. So I think it's that work-life balance. I've got two still quite young children of 10 and 14. And I just think that the whole journey with balancing academia with being an academic and lecturing and growing a company and that home life, and that's got to be one of the biggest challenges as well. So there are a few there, but if it was easy, everybody'd do it, right?
Of what would you attribute as the main reason for your business's success?
That's an interesting one. I think corny that probably sounds. I think I really care. I put my heart and soul into everything I do. And I genuinely care. I genuinely want people to have a great experience trading or exhibiting. I want them to sell and be able to sort of network and achieve everything that they want to achieve from that event. And I want the people who come along to go away with a really nice feeling. That was fantastic. I really enjoyed that. And I really care. I want to provide the best platform. Really, I see myself probably as more of a facilitator, providing that platform for people to use and to sort of promote themselves and get themselves out there. I think that's at the core of everything I do is supporting small businesses, micro businesses, sole traders. I had a beauty salon for nearly 14 years in Cheltenham, and as a sole trader, I would have loved the opportunity to go to one of these events and promote what I do and actually get to people face to face. I think for all of the hybrid and the online, I don't think you can beat that face to face. So I think that's really important. So and I genuinely care, and I think the devil is in the detail. I mean, I'm an absolute stickler that I'm ridiculously sort of picky about getting that detail right. I triple check all the sort of the details. I make sure everybody is that line of communication is open to explain to people what's going to happen, when it's going to happen. I'm very particular how I design my events. I don't sort of open the applications and say, you're going to give me the money, that's fine, you can come in, and you end up with an event with 20 of the same thing, and nobody enjoys it. It's not, I think you need to put care and attention into designing it. It's not just a case of there's a venue and I'll just take your money and you rock up. It's in the detail, the planning. That's where the the sort of the difficulty is, and that's where the skill comes in, I think, and that's the skills you hone as an events planner. And be realistic. I never promise anybody something that I can't deliver. I never say there'll be thousands of people through the door. I can only go on previous footfall and performance, and I give people an indication that's what happened. However, it's that was a perfect storm, then it may not be the case this time. So I just think sort of being realistic, and I think the fact I care, the fact that I put so much effort into making sure that those details sort of everything's ticked off, everything's checked over. I don't leave anything to chance, because you can guarantee pound to penny on the day things will happen that you've got no control over. And I think if you just plan the life out of it, then there's less chance for things to go wrong, and that's that's what I work on anyway. So so far so good.
Since winning that award, I know it's still fairly early days, but how has that affected your business, would you say, both internally and externally? I think for me it's there's no sort of hierarchy what I do. It's just me on my own, and so the internal changes, the fact it's given me a sort of a newfound confidence in what I do. It's almost sort of validated what I do, which is really important. It's a very lonely business when you're doing things on your own. I said I do have help on the day. I have sort of day staff, but I love it when people email saying, you and your team do such a great job organising this. I thought, well, I'll just be me then, because I don't have a team to organise. I don't have
people to say, what do you think about this? Should we do this? I talk to my husband, my mum, my friends, and I sort of bounce ideas off them and so on, which is one thing. But I think it's quite a lonely place, and I think to have that sort of validity of you are a master of your craft, basically, and this award, this lovely, shiny, beautiful little trophy, which is here on my shelf, right there, is a reminder that I'm doing the right thing. So, internally, I think, it says what I'm doing, it is working. And my kids think it's really cool. I think it's great. They literally couldn't believe it. We all thought it was a scam to start. I'm like, no, this can't be real, isn't it? But my kids are like, oh my God, yeah, wow, Mum, it's brilliant. And they're thrilled to bits, telling all their friends my mum's an award-winning events planner. They think it's marvellous. So, that's lovely. So internally, yes, that confidence and that pleasure of being able to share, things with the people I love, and they're so proud. It makes me so happy. It's been absolutely lovely. And my customers are just really excited. A lot of them do become kind of friends anyway. And they're excited for me and with me, and they're saying, what's next? And, it kind of generates that sort of buzz and that excitement. And people want to sort of trade with me. They want to sort of deal with me, and, an award winner, and they're emailing saying, oh, I love your email footer, and, they see the banner on the website, and it's just, it makes people want to, it gives them confidence in you, really, I think. They know they're in good hands, and my followers on social media have increased. I'm sure that's a result of this, so it can only be positive. It can only bring good things, something like this, can't it? So it's been great. It's been really, really good for me.
As an award winner, would you recommend Business Award UK to other businesses?
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's for all the reasons that I've sort of given about the fact that it gives you a personal boost. If you have staff working for you, it brings people together. I imagine if you are a bigger company, you have people working with you and for you, then it gives everybody that sort of feeling of sort of cohesion and that sort of a joint reason to celebrate. And I think it just gives a new lease of life to your business, really. It doesn't matter if you're a new business or existing, or you're doing something a bit different. It just gives it a little extra edge, a little bit of we all need a bit of a boost now and again. I think this is like a business boost, it's a professional boost. And it just gives your existing customers that sort of confidence, and it attracts new customers. But it reinforces what you're doing for your existing customers, who are equally, if not more important. It's the hardest thing is to keep customers. It's almost easier to get new customers, and I find this with the salon. It's easier to get people. It's harder to keep people. And I think with something like this, when you've got that accolade, it just, everybody's sort of like boosted by it. So definitely, I think people should get involved with this, and I would totally recommend it. Yeah.
What would you say is the next big step for Emerge events?
Well, it's quite exciting. I said I'm very, very fluid, because there's only me. That brings pros and cons, but one of the big pros being I can move really quickly. I can move to sort of market demand, what I think people want. I can sort of react very quickly. I like to carry on creating slightly bonkers events. I think it was really good. So I do have a few ideas, which I won't give any spoilers, but I'm definitely going to carry on building and improving and honing, the events I've done. I said the Gloucester Prison Market is fabulous. I don't think I'll ever do anything quite as exciting and quite as random as that again. But the alternative markets are going really well. I did one at Stroud Brewery a few days ago. That was really good, and I'll be delivering two a year for them, hopefully, as well. So definitely sort of I'm quite a fan of sort of sensory experiences. I like to explore sensory aspects more, so consider all the senses and maybe develop the events to incorporate more of a sort of sensory element to them. I did quite a lot of sort of study on that as part of my degree, and I think maybe going back to sort of more design and creation and using what I master in to really sort of add the flesh to the bones, to come up with something quite exciting, a bit more sensory. And like I said, just sort of be thinking of different things to offer, and how can you improve existing offerings. And I lecture in in business management, and I tell my students to be innovative. You don't have to come up with something which is radical. You can do something which is more incremental. We talk about incremental innovation. So take something like I said, this the market is one of the oldest things in the world. Prisons have been around forever. Alternative in one way has been around for a long time. Putting that combination together and come up with something which is different, that event in that situation, in that venue. So I'm looking for unusual venues and doing something a little bit different within an unusual venue, and then you get that sort of perfect kind of equation, don't you, where you've got something a little bit mad in a slightly eccentric venue, and you're offering these different things. So I think different is really good, but I also love I call my sort of more standard vanilla events. So continue to deliver wedding fairs. I love wedding fairs. It's so lovely. I mean, it's just such a happy, lovely thing to do. It really is. So I think just continuing to sort of to work on my branding as well, because I kind of think I should be wearing two hats. One is the sort of more private events, corporate hats, the more mainstream. The other one is the one that allows me to be quite playful and a little bit dark, and I quite like that. So maybe thinking how I can be all those things without sort of pigeonholing myself into either thing. So that's something that I need to sort of think about my branding and where I want to go. But the future's quite bright, I think. I'm quite excited about doing different things and more of the same.
Well, that sounds, like you're saying, it sounds very exciting, and like it says, always a mix of the two, of corporate and a bit crazy, which is always quite the best way to match the two. But no, it's been absolutely fantastic to talk to you today, Jules. It's been wonderful to hear about Emerge Events. If people want to find yourself or they want to find Emerge Events, where's the best way they can find you?
The website emergeeventsdesign.co.uk, and I've got Facebook, Instagram, emerge.events27, and LinkedIn as Julie Farr. So they can find me however I'm out there. Please do get in touch if there's anything anybody wants organising. I'm happy to do. I said freelance bits and bobs with larger companies. I'm sort of looking into that. With private events, I'll turn my hand to anything, and I've got a very transferable soft skill set from all my years in industry. So very, very excited about where I might go, and this has been a fantastic experience. It's really and I think sometimes even with today's interview, having that chance to sort of think about these questions and reflect on what you've done, where did you come from, I think that's a really cathartic thing to do, to sort of think back and think, okay, well, how did it start, and how can I encapsulate that, and without going on for hours, and how can I sort of it's quite grounding. It's really good. It's a really good experience all around. Thank you.
Brilliant. I'm glad that you've had such a great experience today. It's been absolutely wonderful to have you here. And like I mentioned, we'll make sure to put those links in the description below. And again, thank you so much for joining us today, Julie. It's been an absolute pleasure.
Thank you. Brilliant.